Hello YouTube, this is Attorney Collingwood and I'm reaching out to you to talk about a topic that unfortunately might be very relevant with our current times moving forward. It deals with bankruptcy filings, specifically Chapter 7. So Chapter 7 is when an individual or even a corporation or a business would like to liquidate their assets and ultimately discharge their debts. So it's one of those situations, unlike a Chapter 13, where you're trying to essentially get a payment plan to kind of catch up. Chapter 7, you have to qualify, and you're just trying to say, hey, I don't have enough money to pay this. Please discharge my debts because there's no way I can get out from under them. So I want to talk about some pros and some cons of the filing and whether or not it's appropriate for you as an individual. So there's some things to consider. So I want to go really quickly about some of the cons of bankruptcy filing Chapter 7 specifically. I would say first and foremost, number one has to be the social stigma of it. It's one of those things where people, you hear it and it's kind of feel like I'm a failure in a way and I don't want people to know and, I don't want to accept it type scenario. I think it's a very common stigma in our society today. Number two would definitely be the cost of the process, the attorney fees, the filing fees, and credit report fees. Those are typically the three major ones, and it can range varying between $1,000 to $2,000 for you to file, depending on what state you are in. In Chicago, where I practice, I would say it ranges between $1,000 to $2,000, depending on how complicated your case is. Number three, you have to disclose all your assets, all your expenditures, your finances, your income to the bankruptcy court to show that you qualify. So number four, it deals with your credit. So your credit is going to be like you're 18 again and you don't have any credit. Some people get confused with credit, no credit, and bad credit. So no credit is like you're 18, you got to start over and you got to build up your credit. It's going to take some time. However, it's not literally bad credit. Oftentimes people who are in this situation are already having bad credit and they can't finance a lot of things. Lastly, number five, it deals with your assets. Let's say you have a car and you have an additional car. And typically most states allow you to have certain exemptions for a house and cars and bank accounts. But let's say you're over these exemptions and you have to check this per state. But if you're over the $2,500 federal exemption for a car value, and you have an additional car that's paid in full, let's say worth like $3,000, they may ask you to sell that car once you sell it, the rest of the amount that's not paid off will be essentially discharged. So those are I would say, definitely big cons in regards to bankruptcy filing. As for the pros of Chapter 7 bankruptcy filing, I think number one, which is kind of obvious, financial relief, discharge of debts, such as credit cards, personal loans, medical loans, sometimes even student loans, depending on very rare situations. Also, defaulted repo vehicle loans, or even if you want to let go of your vehicle loan that you're in right now, as well as a mortgage. Secondly, you get rid of those annoying calls. Those calls that they're constantly hounding you, these debt collectors reaching out to you, saying, hey, you owe us money, when are you going to pay? We'll set up a payment plan. If not, we're going to go after you in court. The collection process of, garnishments or levies on your bank accounts and those type of things. So number three, it would deal with your credit situation. Oftentimes, most people in this scenario they don't have good credit anyways. Even if they're paying the minimum for credit cards, the banks know that your debt to income ratio is so bad that you're not a likely candidate for additional credit. And oftentimes that's kind of a good thing, having no credit versus bad credit. I'd rather take no credit. As if you're 18 years old, you're just starting anew. That's definitely a pro for many people, actually. Number four, it deals with the possibility of keeping a lot of your assets. So various states have different exemptions. So typically you can keep a car under a certain amount. You can keep your house under a certain amount. If you have a certain amount of equity in the house, it's okay depending on certain states. Some states can give you $150,000 worth of equity in the house and they can't touch it. Some states like Illinois and Chicago, we only allow for about $15,000 of equity per person on the home. Number five, it's a very private process in a way. You file with the court, bankruptcy court, and you meet with the creditors as well as your attorney to kind of submit all the applications. And when they look at it and if you qualify, they discharge it and you move on with your life. Obviously, anybody can realistically go into the bankruptcy system if they have your social security number and your name as well as your address, they can probably pull it up. But realistically, nobody's going to really know about it. So those are all the things that you should consider when you're filing bankruptcy. and there are obviously clearly cons to it, and there are also pros to it. So you have to weigh those things and consider if it's something that you should do and if it's appropriate for you in your current situation. Hello YouTube, I hope you enjoyed this content that we provide today, and if so, please slam the like button below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you get notification of future content. And also, don't forget to leave a comment or suggestion below in regards to this video or any other videos that you think you would like us to do, and we will be back with future videos. Thank you very much.